My child, the valley is not your home. I am walking you through it, not leaving you inside it. I know it has felt like an address you were forced to memorize, like the walls of this season have been closing in, like the air has been thinner, like the light has been harder to find. But hear me clearly. You are not stuck. You are not forgotten. You are not buried. You are passing through, and my presence is the path beneath your feet. I have seen the private ache you have tried to carry quietly, the fear that rises when the phone rings, the diagnosis you did not expect, the bills that stack higher than your strength, the loneliness that visits when the day goes quiet, the exhaustion that comes from waiting and feeling like nothing is moving. I have watched you do what you could, smile when you had no oil left, encourage others while your own heart felt thin, and I am not ashamed of your tears. I am not disappointed by your questions. I am not standing at a distance asking you to perform your way out of pain. I am drawing near, and I am speaking into the very place you thought would swallow you. Because the valley has a voice, and it tries to name you by what you are going through. It tries to convince you that lack is your identity, that fear is your future, that this darkness is your destiny. But I say to you, I did not bring you here to abandon you. I did not lead you into a place I refuse to walk with you. What you have called the end is not the end, it is a passage. What you have called delay is not denial, it is preparation. What you have called silence is not absence. It is hidden work, heaven moving beneath the surface of your life, arranging what you cannot yet see. Stay with me, because I am going to take you on a journey that does not end in the valley. I am going to lead you through Psalm 23, the way it was meant to be lived, not as a poem you repeat when you are trembling, but as shepherd care, step by step, verse by verse. From the place where you thought you would lack, into the place where you will testify that I provided. From the place where fear sat on your chest, into the place where mercy follows behind you. From the shadowed valley that tried to intimidate you, to the table I prepared for you, yes, a table, not a scramble. A table, not a survival mode. A table where I will prove to you that I can sustain you. This is not hype, and this is not pressure. You do not have to pretend you are fine to qualify for my comfort. You do not have to run to earn my nearness. Just let your heart agree with what I am saying. You are not abandoned in the valley. I am the shepherd who does not lose his sheep. I am already going before you. I am already surrounding you. And even now, while you are still looking at the shadows, I am guiding you toward restoration, toward provision, toward peace, until you arrive at what I prepared. Now hear me as I speak the foundation beneath everything you are feeling. I am your shepherd, not a distant observer of your struggle, not a silent judge watching you figure it out, not a God who gives you a verse and then leaves you to survive the night. I am your shepherd, and that means I guide you, I guard you, I feed you, I search for you, and I stay with you. I do not outsource your care. I do not hand you a map and call that love. I walk. I lead. I cover. I correct. I carry when you have no strength left. And I need you to let this settle in your chest, because when you truly receive that I am your shepherd, you stop trying to be your own. There have been moments you felt unled, like you were taking step after step and still not arriving, like everyone else had direction and you had questions, like the sky was quiet and your options were shrinking. You wondered if heaven had misplaced your name among the millions of prayers, as if your cry got lost in the crowd. But I have not misplaced your name. I have not forgotten your address. I have not lost sight of you in the valley, and I have not gone silent because I am absent. The silence you feared was abandonment has often been concentration. Me going before you, bending what would have broken you, blocking what would have trapped you, and timing what would have been wasted if it came too soon. Because, my sheep, what you have called wandering has not been pointless. Some of the turns that frustrated you were mercy. Some of the delays that embarrassed you were protection. Not every open path leads to peace, and not every quick answer would have been safe for your soul. I have seen the hidden snares on roads you wanted, the counterfeit comfort in rooms you asked to enter, the relationships that smiled while carrying harm. And in my love, I redirected you without always explaining. I slowed you down when your heart was running ahead of your wisdom. I held you back when you would have stepped into a season you were not yet strengthened to carry. A promise delayed is not a promise denied. It is often a pasture being prepared and a predator being removed. So loosen your grip, beloved. Release the outcome you have been squeezing so tightly that your hands have cramped with fear. Direction is my responsibility. Provision is my responsibility. Protection is my responsibility. Your responsibility is trust, simple, honest, daily trust. You do not have to solve what only a shepherd can see. You do not have to predict the next bend in the path. You only have to stay close enough to recognize my voice, humble enough to follow when I nudge you, and willing enough to be led even when the grass is not yet in view. And I tell you this now so your heart can rest. I am still leading you, even when you cannot see the next step. I am not absent, I am shepherding you. I am already going before you. I am already watching behind you. I am already guiding you toward the place where lack cannot name you, where fear cannot keep you, and where you will look back and realize that every step, even the confusing ones, was held inside my care. So now, my child, stay with me. Do not leave halfway through what I am saying, because I am not only comforting you in the valley, I am walking you all the way out of it. Let me take you from the shadowed place where fear has been talking loudly to the table I prepared where my provision will speak louder. There is a difference between visiting a word and receiving a word, and I am asking you to receive this not as background sound, but as shepherding for your soul, step by step, breath by breath, until your heart remembers how to rest. And if you will, subscribe not because I need a number, but because you need reminders when the night tries to return. Subscribe so these prayers meet you again when anxiety tries to rise, when lack tries to negotiate with your mind, when old panic tries to knock on the door of your peace. I know how quickly a day can change. I know how fast the thoughts can spiral, and I will keep sending my encouragement to you, like bread in the morning and strength for the next mile. And like this video, if you are choosing trust over panic today, let that simple act be agreement in your spirit that you will not be ruled by what you feel. You will be steadied by who I am. Agreement activates attention, and attention keeps you close enough to hear me when I lead. Now type this in the comments as your declaration. My shepherd is leading me, lack will not swallow me. Say it again, and let your own ears hear your faith. You are not abandoned. You are being led, and I will finish what I started in you. Now, my child, let me take you into the next line you have whispered when your chest felt tight. I shall not want. And I need you to understand what I am saying, because you have heard it like a religious phrase, but I am speaking it like shepherd truth over your life. Want is not only money. Want is not only a bill, a balance, an empty pantry. Want is the absence that makes you panic. Want is the shortage that makes you feel like you are failing. Want is the anxiety that tells you will run out of strength, run out of hope, run out of patience, run out of time, run out of joy, run out of yourself. And you have felt that kind of want, not just in your hands, but in your mind and in your heart. So hear me. I am not promising you a life where you never have a need. I am promising you a life where you are never abandoned in your need. I am not a shepherd who watches you tremble and then tells you to be stronger. I do not stand over you with disappointment while you try to figure out how to be sufficient. I step into the place of your shortage, and I become what you cannot produce. Need is not your master. Lack is not your lord. Fear does not get to name you. Under my shepherding, want will not swallow you. I know the math has been talking loudly. I know the numbers have tried to preach to you. You have looked at what is due, what is missing, what is delayed, what is uncertain, and you have thought, how could this ever add up? But what you can measure is not all that is moving. While you were counting what you do not have, I was arranging what you could not see. Heaven has been working beneath the surface of your life already, opening doors, already shifting timing, already moving help into position, already preparing provision that will not come with shame attached to it. A promise delayed is not a promise denied, and my supply is not limited to what is currently in your reach. And let me speak to the shame you have been carrying. You felt guilty for needing help. You felt embarrassed that you are still asking, still waiting, still stretching. You have tried to make your need smaller so you would feel more acceptable. But I am not offended by your need. I am not irritated by your asking. I am your source, and a shepherd is not surprised when his sheep need leading, feeding, covering, and care. Bring me the honest shortage, emotional, physical, financial, spiritual, because I do not despise the empty places in you. I fill them. So breathe, my child. Release the fear that you will run out before I come through. Let this settle in you like quiet strength. You will not be consumed by lack, because you are kept by my care. And even now, before you see it in your hands, I am already making a way for you. And because I am your shepherd, I do not only keep you from running out in your hands, I restore what has been running out inside of you. I make you lie down in green pastures, and I need you to hear the tenderness in that word, green, not scorched, not bare, not survival ground. Green means there is nourishment again. Green means safety again. Green means you are not eating fear for breakfast and dread for dinner anymore. Green means your mind can be steady, your heart can be held, your soul can remember what it feels like to be cared for instead of constantly bracing. I am giving you daily bread that reaches deeper than your stomach, bread for your thoughts, bread for your emotions, bread for the places in you that have been starved of hope. Because I have watched anxiety drain you in ways you did not always know how to name, it was not only the big crises, it was the drip of constant pressure, the constant scrolling, trying to find relief but only feeding the noise, the sleeplessness where your body lay down but your mind kept running, the panic spirals that started with one small thought and turned into a storm, the emotional numbness where you stopped feeling because feeling hurt too much, the irritability you felt guilty about, the short fuse, the heaviness when morning came, the dread that sat on your chest before you even got out of bed. You have been trying to function while malnourished in the spirit, and you wondered why you were so tired. I know. I have seen every lonely night, every quiet breakdown, every moment you whispered, I can't keep living like this. So, I am not only providing resources, I am restoring your capacity to rest. I am feeding you with peace that does not depend on circumstances. Not a fragile peace that collapses when the phone rings. Not a temporary calm that disappears when the bill comes. Not a shallow reassurance that ignores reality. My peace is a pasture space to breathe, space to heal, space to be human again without being hunted by your thoughts. And hear me, it is not weakness that you need rest. It is wisdom. Sheep do not heal while running. They recover when they are close enough to the shepherd to stop scanning the horizon for danger. So take a practical step with me right now, my child. Breathe in slowly, and as you breathe, release what you have been gripping. Release the need to control. Release the fear of tomorrow. Release the question of how it will work out. And as you exhale, receive what I am giving. Receive my nearness. Receive my steadiness. Receive my daily care. Listen like a sheep listens, not strained, not frantic, not trying to predict every sound, just close, just attentive, just trusting that the voice you recognize is leading you into life. I am bringing you into green pastures, and I will restore the appetite to live, the strength to hope, and the courage to rest without guilt, because under my shepherding, you are safe enough to lie down. And now, my child, I do not only give you a place to lie down, I lead you beside still waters, because I know what the noise has been doing to you. I know the way your body flinches, even when nothing is happening. I know the way your mind stays alert, as if danger is always about to arrive. I know the way you finally turn the lights off, and that is when the thoughts start talking. But still waters are not a metaphor I gave you to admire. They are an environment I bring you into. I lead you away from chaos and into gentle, steady peace, because I am not only tending your circumstances, I am calming your nervous system with my presence. There are moments you have called it just stress, but I call it weight you were never meant to carry alone. The rushing current of deadlines, opinions, bad news, unanswered messages, and the pressure to hold it all together has kept your inner world agitated, as if your soul has been drinking from a trembling cup. So I am guiding you to a different stream. Still waters do not mean life is silent. Still waters mean I am steady. Still waters mean you can breathe without bracing. Still waters mean your heart can come out of fight or flight and remember what it feels like to be held. And when the what-if loop tries to rise again, what if it gets worse? What if they leave? What if I don't have enough? What if I can't fix it? Remember this. I am already going before you. You are not walking toward tomorrow alone. You are not arriving at problems without a shepherd already waiting there. I have gone ahead of you into the meeting, into the conversation, into the bill, into the diagnosis, into the unknown, and I am not entering those spaces with panic. I am entering them with authority, with wisdom, with provision, with solutions you cannot see yet. The question your anxiety keeps asking, I answer with, my presence, I am with you, and I am working. And do not misread the quiet, beloved. Quiet does not mean abandonment. Quiet is often the sound of hidden work beneath the surface, roots strengthening, doors aligning, timing being protected, enemies being restrained, and mercy being arranged while you rest. I do not shout to prove I am near. Sometimes I lower the volume because I am teaching you to live from trust, not adrenaline. Sometimes I let the waters become still because I am washing what the day tried to stain on you. So pray with me right now, just for this moment. Father, bring me to still waters. Wash my thoughts clean. Quiet every intrusive fear, every racing scenario, every anxious replay. Slow my breathing. Let my shoulders unclench. Let my jaw release. Let my chest soften. Put your peace like a gentle hand upon my heart. Speak louder than the noise in my mind, and let your steadiness become my rhythm. I receive your calm. I receive your nearness. I receive your rest, even while life is loud, because your peace is not fragile, and still waters are available to me now. And now, my child, after I have led you to still waters, I take you even deeper, because peace is not the end of what I am doing. Peace is the doorway, and the scripture says, He restores my soul, and I need you to hear what that means in your life right now. Your soul is not only your emotions in a moment, it is your identity when nobody is watching, your hope when you have been disappointed too many times, your desire when life has drained your appetite to dream, your motivation when you have been functioning on empty, your joy when you learn to smile without feeling, your ability to trust again when trust feels dangerous. Soul restoration is when I return you to yourself, when I give you back the parts you had to lay down just to survive. Because I know what you have not always said out loud. I have seen betrayal that made you question your discernment. I have seen grief you carried politely, so you would not burden anyone. I have seen burnout where you kept serving, kept producing, kept showing up, while something inside you quietly shut down. I have seen chronic disappointment, the kind that does not come from one storm, but from many small letdowns stacking over time until your heart started expecting loss as normal. I have seen the prayers you prayed with trembling faith, and the silence that followed, and the way you wondered if it was your fault. You have tried to move on quickly, to be strong quickly, to be okay quickly, but I am not rushing you past what I am healing. I do not call you weak for bleeding. I call you mine, and I bring you close. And hear me, beloved, you mistook divine protection for painful rejection. Some of what I removed was not my absence, it was my rescue. Some doors stayed closed because I knew what would have drained your life, diluted your calling, and delayed your healing. Some relationships ended because I saw what you kept excusing. Some disappointments were not punishment, they were prevention. Not every open path leads to peace, and not every yes would have been love. I was protecting you while you were mourning what I would not allow to consume you. So let me restore you the way only a shepherd can, gently, fully, completely. Release what you have been gripping in your clenched soul. The need for an explanation that will satisfy every question. The need to control outcomes you cannot control. The need to keep reliving what happened so you can rewrite it in your mind. And yes, release them through forgiveness, not as denial, not as calling wrong things right, not as pretending it did not hurt, but as freedom. Forgiveness is you placing the weight back into my hands. So the one who harmed you does not get to keep living in your body, in your sleep, in your future. So pray this with me in your heart. Father, restore my soul. Restore my identity where it was shaken. Restore my hope where it grew tired. Restore my desire where it went numb. Restore my joy where it was stolen. Teach me to trust again, not recklessly, but safely under your shepherding. I surrender what I cannot control. I release what I cannot fix. I forgive as an act of obedience and liberation, and I ask you to heal the wound beneath the memory. And I tell you now, with my steady authority, you are not too damaged for restoration. My shepherding reaches into the deepest places, and I will bring you back to life from the inside out. And now, my child, as I restore your soul, I do not leave you mended but directionless. Restoration is not only me soothing what hurt, it is me aligning what drifted. The scripture says, I lead you in paths of righteousness, and I need you to hear what that means. I lead you in safe paths. I lead you into alignment that protects your future. I lead you into choices, relationships, habits, and priorities that do not quietly poison your peace. Righteousness is not me trying to make you look religious. It is me rescuing you from what would eventually cost you more than you can afford to lose. It is my love turning you away from cliffs you could not see in the fog. Because there have been places you feared you missed it, moments you replayed, words you wish you could pull back, decisions you made when you were tired, lonely, grieving, pressured, or hungry for relief. And the enemy has tried to use those moments to whisper, "That's it. You ruined it. You are disqualified." But hear me, one wrong turn is not the end of your story when I am your shepherd. I can redirect you, I can reroute you, I can restore what was lost, and I can also correct what has been off. My guidance is not fragile. My plan is not so weak that your mistake can destroy it. When you humble your heart, I do not stand over you with condemnation. I step beside you with direction. So bring me what has been off. Bring me the compromise you excused, the pattern you defended, the attachment that keeps pulling you out of peace, the conversation you keep avoiding, the door you keep peeking back into because it feels familiar. Do not hide it under spiritual language. Do not cover it with performance. Shame cannot shepherd you, my child. Shame will drive you into hiding, into pretending, into cycles that keep you bound. But I can shepherd you. I can show you what to release without crushing you. I can teach you how to walk clean without making you feel unloved. And I lead you in right paths for my name's sake, because I have put my name on you. You belong to me, and my reputation is tied to your care. I will not abandon what I have claimed. I will not rescue you from the water and then leave you to wander into the fire. I will not call you mine and then treat you like a burden when you need correction. When I correct you, it is protection. When I redirect you, it is positioning. When I say, "This way," it is not rejection, it is mercy. So let your heart pray without fear. Father, show me the next right step. Expose what is unsafe, not to shame me, but to free me. Realign my desires, reorder my priorities, and give me courage to obey quickly. I repent not as a groveling slave, but as a loved child coming home to the shepherd's voice. And I tell you now, with steady tenderness, I will lead you, I will keep you, I will guide you into what is right, and it will be life to you. And now, my child, as I lead you in right paths, do not be surprised when the path passes through shadows. Do not let your heart interpret the dark as proof that I changed my mind about you. There is a valley you have been walking through, and you have tried to act brave, but I have heard the tremble underneath your breath. I have seen the medical results you are waiting on, the appointment you keep replaying in your mind, the symptoms you did not ask for. I have seen the debt that has been stacking like a mountain, the numbers that keep staring at you, the bills that arrive with pressure in their envelope. I have seen the family conflict that drains you, words said, silence held, relationships strained, the kind of tension that makes even your home feel loud. I have seen the job uncertainty, the emails that make your stomach drop, the doors that look unstable, the fear of being replaced or forgotten. I have seen the depression that tries to numb you, the grief that comes in waves, the addiction battle that feels like a private war, the temptation that shows up when you are tired and alone. And you have wondered, if God is leading me, why does it look like this? Hear me clearly. I do not send you alone into what you cannot control. I do not point you toward darkness and then stand at a distance. The valley is real, but it is not your punishment, and it is not your address. It is a corridor, not a coffin. It is a passage, not a prison. It is a place you walk through, not a place you die in. And if the shadows have made you feel small, remember this: your darkness is real, but my presence is more real, and it moves with you. Fear has been loud, yes. It has tried to preach to you at midnight. It has tried to narrate your future with worst-case scenarios. It has tried to make you believe that one bad report will become your whole story, that one financial blow will swallow your family, that one relapse will erase your progress, that one conflict will destroy what you love. But fear is not Lord. Fear is a voice, not a throne. Panic can talk, but it cannot rule where I rule. And I am closer than your panic. I am closer than your racing thoughts. I am closer than the dread that hits you in the morning. I am with you in the hallway, with you in the waiting room, with you in the quiet car rides, with you when you wash your face and try to hold it together, with you when you finally admit, I can't do this by myself. So lift your eyes, beloved, even if you can only lift them a little. You are not walking toward an ending of lack and loss. You are walking toward a table I prepared. What threatens you now will not define your ending. What is hunting your mind will not have the final word over your life. This valley will not become your identity. Stay close. Keep moving. Even here, I am shepherding you step by step, breath by breath, until you come out of the shadow and into the place where I will feed you in peace. And now, my child, I need you to hear the sentence that holds you together when your emotions try to scatter. I am with you, not as a theory, not as a distant doctrine you repeat while your heart still feels alone, but as a living reality. My nearness, close enough to steady your breathing, close enough to keep you from collapsing under what you cannot control. Because there are times you have begged me for the miracle. And the first miracle I give you is not a change in the room, it is my presence in the room. It is companionship where you expected silence. It is courage where you expected panic. It is steadiness where you expected to fall apart. And hear me, my presence is not a consolation prize. My presence is provision. My presence is strength. My presence is the shepherd standing between you and what would devour you. You have been lonely in ways people did not notice. You smiled, you showed up, you answered texts, you did what you had to do, and then you went back to that quiet place where the ache grew louder. You cried where nobody heard. You broke in private and then rebuilt your face before anyone walked in. But I heard you. I saw you. I counted every tear you wiped away quickly, every silent battle you fought with shaking hands, every lonely night when you stared at the ceiling and wondered if you were going to make it. You were not dramatic. You were not weak. You were carrying more than you were meant to carry, and I did not turn my face away. I came closer. And while you were waiting, while you were asking, when, and how, and why is it taking so long, I was working beneath the surface of your life. I was arranging help you could not yet recognize, timing you could not yet understand, favor that would meet you at the right intersection, open doors that would not open too early and crush you, and close doors that were mercy even though they felt like disappointment. You thought nothing was happening because nothing was visible. But heaven has been moving quietly, strategically, lovingly, already shifting what needs to shift, already softening what needs to soften, already preparing what you will call sudden when it arrives. A promise delayed is not a promise denied. It is often protected. So for this step, not the whole staircase, not the entire year, not every unanswered question, just for this step, I want you to speak this back to me until it settles your soul. You are with me, and that is enough for this step. Say it when the phone rings. Say it when the thoughts rise. Say it when the night gets long. Say it when you don't know what to do next. You are with me, and that is enough for this step. Because before the circumstances shift, my nearness anchors you so you don't collapse. And if you can stay anchored, you can keep walking. And if you keep walking, you will reach what I prepared. I am with you now, here, in this valley, and you will not be lost under my care. And because I am with you, my child, I do not come empty-handed. I do not stand beside you in the valley as a quiet observer while the shadows circle. I am your shepherd, and my rod and my staff are not symbols for you to admire. They are the evidence that I take responsibility for your safety and your direction. The rod is for defense. It is for what comes to attack you, to harass you, to intimidate you in the night and whisper, "You will not make it." And the staff is for guidance. It is for what tries to mislead you, to pull you off the path slowly, to nudge you toward a cliff while you are tired and trying to survive. I confront what comes against you, and I correct what would carry you away. I do both, and I do not fail at either. There were moments you felt restricted doors that would not open, opportunities that looked good but would not move, connections you wanted that did not last, a path you kept pushing that kept pushing back, and you called it delay, you called it loss, you called it rejection. But hear me, not every open path leads to peace. Not every yes is my love. Sometimes the door that stayed closed was my rod standing in the doorway, keeping the wolf from entering while you were too weary to fight. Sometimes what felt like a detour was my staff turning you away from a trap you could not discern yet. You mistook divine protection for painful rejection, and one day you will thank me for the thing you begged me to let through. because you will see what it would have cost you: your peace, your purity, your purpose, your family, your future. And yes, there has been warfare, but do not be afraid of that word. It has shown up as heaviness that settles on you for no reason, as accusation that tries to label you with your worst day, as intimidation that tries to make you small, as confusion that tries to fog your decisions, as a pressure in your chest that tells you to quit before you reach what I promised. But hear me clearly. It is not stronger than my authority. It is not louder than my voice. It is not greater than my name. The enemy can suggest, accuse, and threaten, but he cannot shepherd you. I shepherd you. I lead you. I guard you. And I do not negotiate with what I have already defeated. So when my hand corrects you, do not call it rejection. When I pull you back, do not call it punishment. My discipline is safety. My correction is care. I am not scolding you for being human. I am steering you because I can see farther than you can see. I know where the ground is unstable. I know where the cliff is hidden under pretty grass. I know where your emotions could lead you into what your future cannot afford. And even if you do not understand the no, even if you do not yet see why I blocked it, trust the shepherd's tools. What felt like restriction may have been rescue, and what felt like a hard redirect may have been the mercy that kept you alive and kept you on the path to the table I prepared. And now, my child, hear how I finish what I began in the valley. I do not only escort you away from danger, I honor you in front of it. I do not only help you endure, I prepare a table for you in the presence of your enemies. And I need you to understand what I mean by enemies, because you have imagined only faces and names, only people who opposed you or misunderstood you, but your enemies have been broader than that. They have been pressure that never let you exhale. They have been symptoms that tried to rewrite your confidence. They have been debts that spoke louder than your paycheck. They have been addictions and appetites that promised comfort and delivered chains. They have been cycles, generational patterns, repeated disappointments, familiar breakdowns that tried to convince you this is all you will ever be. They have been memories that return like accusations. They have been voices, some outside you, some inside you, that labeled you with your worst day and called it your identity. But listen to me. I do not wait for every enemy to disappear before I feed you. I do not postpone provision until the battle feels quiet. I prepare in contested places. I provide in the middle of opposition. I sustain you while the room is still arguing, while the threat is still nearby, while the pressure is still trying to rush you, because I am not intimidated by what intimidates you. The enemy can circle, but he cannot starve what I have decided to nourish. He can watch, but he cannot cancel what I have prepared. And I am not bringing you to a table to tease you. I am bringing you to a table to testify, so fear will have to sit there and witness my faithfulness. You have known what it feels like to scrape for crumbs, emotionally, spiritually, financially, apologizing for needing help, feeling ashamed for wanting stability, wondering if you are too much, wondering if your life will always be barely enough. But I will not make you beg for crumbs under my care. I prepare what you need with dignity. I set it before you like a father who is not embarrassed to bless his child. I feed you with peace that steadies your mind, with wisdom that clarifies your next step, with strength that outlasts your temptation, with favor that opens what was locked, with provision that arrives in ways you did not predict but will recognize as me. So lift your expectation, beloved, because the table may appear in forms you did not label miracle at first. It may arrive as an idea that drops into your spirit and finally makes sense. It may arrive as an opportunity, a phone call, an email, a door that swings open at the right time. It may arrive as unexpected support, someone who helps without strings, someone who shows up with what you needed. It may arrive as healing progress, small at first, steady, undeniable. It may arrive as a restored relationship, a softened heart, a conversation that used to be impossible becoming gentle in my hands. Do not despise the way I send it. Receive it. Sit down. Eat without panic. You are not being kept alive by luck. You are being sustained by a shepherd who provides publicly what fear said would never come. And as you sit there, beloved, and you feel your breathing slow because you realize you are not being starved anymore, I do not stop at feeding you. I anoint you. Because the table is not only about what you receive, it is about who you are to me. You anoint my head with oil was never meant to be a pretty sentence you quote in passing. It is a sign of consecration, a mark of care, a declaration that you are mine and you are attended to. Oil is what I place upon you when you have felt overlooked, when you have felt like your sickness made you invisible, when you have wondered if heaven had misplaced your name among the many needs and many prayers. Hear me. I have not forgotten you in the fight for your health. I have not turned away from your body. I have not ignored the places that ache. I know what has been inflamed in you, what has been irritated by stress, by sorrow, by survival. I know the chronic pain that makes ordinary days feel like labor. I know the fatigue that sleep has not fixed, the heaviness that settles on you before you even begin. I know the anxiety that tightens your chest and makes your thoughts run ahead of your peace. I know the insomnia, when the room is dark but your mind is loud, and you keep replaying, rehearsing, bracing. I know the digestive issues that flare when you are under pressure, the knots in your stomach that carry what you never said out loud. I know the heart, heaviness, that quiet grief that sits behind your smile. I know the trauma triggers the sudden wave, the body memory, the moment your system panics, even when you are safe. And I am telling you now, my anointing is not symbolic only. It is my healing attention on your whole life, body, mind, and memory. So receive this with faith. I am restoring health. I am calming inflammation you cannot measure. I am healing wounds that did not show on the surface. What doctors cannot see, I can reach. What medicine has not yet resolved, I can touch. I can strengthen what feels weak, regulate what feels unstable, and renew what feels worn down. And I do not shame you for needing help. I give you wisdom as well as wonder. Keep taking the steps of care. Keep the appointments. Take the counsel. Use what I provide through skilled hands, because I am the one who gives wisdom. I am the one who guides treatment, and I am the one who can breathe peace into the process while I release healing beyond it. And now, my child, let this be your agreement. Father, anoint me. Touch what is inflamed. Heal what is hurting. Quiet what is racing. Restore what trauma tried to steal. Let your peace settle over my nervous system like oil, softening, soothing, strengthening. I am doing it even now, beneath the surface, in the hidden places where nobody applauds. Do not fear the timeline. Do not fear the report. Do not fear the process. You are not forgotten on this table. You are not alone in this body. I am your shepherd, and I am laying my healing hand upon you, and I will carry you from this moment into wholeness, step by step, until your testimony is not only that you survived, but that I restored you. And now, my child, while you are still at this table, while the oil is still fresh upon you, while your breathing is finally slower than your fear, I need you to hear what comes next, because you have been trained by the valley to think in small measures. You learn to count what is left. You learn to ration joy. You learn to brace for the next bill, the next bad phone call, the next disappointment. You learn to treat peace like it was fragile and temporary, because lack kept interrupting you. But I am not only healing what has been inflamed, I am expanding what you believe is possible. And the scripture says, my cup overflows. And this is not poetry to admire from a distance, this is my intent toward you. Overflow is more than money, yes. Overflow is strength when you thought you would collapse again. Overflow is support when you assumed you would have to carry it alone. Overflow is clarity when your mind has been foggy from pressure and sleepless nights. Overflow is renewed joy, real joy, not a forced smile when you thought your laughter was buried in the valley. Overflow is opportunities that find you, doors that open without you begging, wisdom that arrives before the crisis hits, and peace that stays even when life stays loud. Overflow is when you notice you are no longer living from panic to panic, but from promise to promise, because you have learned the sound of my voice over the noise of fear. Because scarcity was a teacher, and it taught you the wrong lessons. It taught you to expect loss. It taught you to expect people to leave, resources to dry up, and good moments to be followed by punishment. But I am training you now, gently and steadily, to expect my faithfulness. I am retraining your inner language. I am changing what you assume will happen next. And hear me, overflow begins in the spirit before it appears in the hands. Before I increase what you hold, I increase what you can receive without guilt, without fear, without self-sabotage, without shrinking back when blessing comes close. So lift your eyes and let your expectation come alive again, because I am releasing provision with precision. I can give you unexpected help at the exact hour you need it. I can send divine connections. One conversation, one introduction, one person who recognizes what I placed on you, and what felt stuck begins to move. I can give you strategy for debt, not only a miracle that drops from the sky, but wisdom that rearranges your steps until the weight begins to lift. I can open new income streams, creative ideas, fresh skills, timely favor. I can place you in meetings where you are seen, respected, remembered, where doors swing open because I am the one who goes before you. And I will do it in such a way that you will not be able to say, I did this by striving. You will say, my shepherd provided. And when I do it, my child, do not hide your testimony. Do not minimize it. Do not explain it away like it was coincidence. What I do for you will become a lamp for someone else still walking through their valley. Your overflow will not only feed you, it will light the path. So sit at this table with a heart that receives, and begin to speak it, even before you see it. My cup is overflowing. My measure is changing. My shepherd is rewriting what I thought was possible. And as you keep walking with me, goodness will not trickle toward you. It will pursue you, and mercy will not visit occasionally. It will follow you, and you will learn to live like someone I have decided to sustain. My child, there was a season when you felt like you were being chased by bills, chased by bad news, chased by the next phone call you didn't want to answer, chased by the fear that something would go wrong the moment you finally exhaled. You learned to listen for the sound of trouble behind you. You learned to brace, to flinch, to expect the worst, because disappointment had formed a pattern, and your nervous system called it wisdom. But hear me now, and let this settle deeper than your anxiety. You are not being hunted by disaster anymore. You are not being stalked by lack. You are not being pursued by failure as if it is your destiny. Goodness and mercy are following you, and they do not follow slowly. As a suggestion, they pursue you as an assignment. You thought the past had more authority than the promise. You thought your worst season would replay like a curse, like a script you could not edit. But I am the one who rewrites days. Mercy is not me tolerating you. Mercy is me covering you. Mercy is what meets you where you regret, where you wish you could redo the conversation, redo the decision, redo the night you were tired and you chose wrong, redo the moment you settled because you were afraid. And goodness is not fragile. Goodness rebuilds what you thought was permanently broken. Goodness restores what was lost in pieces: confidence, stability, trust, laughter, family, purpose. And it does it with patience until you realize you are standing in a life you did not think you would live again. And do not misread the waiting, beloved. Do not call preparation a punishment. Do not call training a tragedy. A promise delayed is not a promise denied. The waiting was not meaningless. It was me strengthening you where nobody applauded, teaching you discernment, teaching you endurance, teaching you to recognize my voice over the noise of fear, so that when the blessing arrives, you will not sabotage it with the mindset the valley tried to give you. You are not behind. You are being positioned. You are not forgotten. Heaven has been working beneath the surface of your life. So, I want you to speak what I have spoken, not what fear has preached. Say it slowly, and let your spirit agree even if your emotions are still catching up. I am followed by goodness. I am escorted by mercy. I will not be swallowed by lack. Say it when you look at your bank account. Say it when you remember the regret. Say it when you step into a new week. Because your future is not a replay of your worst season. My mercy is actively rewriting your days. And my goodness is already ahead of you, making a way, opening doors, restoring what was taken, until your life testifies that the shepherd did not merely bring you through the valley. He marked your path with goodness, and he covered your steps with mercy. And now, my child, hear what I have been promising you beneath every verse you have been clinging to. You will not only have a breakthrough moment, you will have a dwelling reality. When I say you will dwell with me, I am not speaking of a visit that comes and goes with your emotions. I am not speaking of a touch you feel one night and then spend the next week trying to chase again. I am speaking of an abiding and ongoing shepherding for all your days. The valley was a passage, yes, but the peace I am giving you is not temporary. I am establishing you. I am making stability your portion. I am teaching your life what it feels like to be held, covered, and kept morning after morning, night after night, ordinary day after ordinary day, until your soul stops flinching at the sound of the future. because I have seen what home has felt like for you. I have seen the tension that lingers in the air, the conversations that never finish, the silence that feels louder than arguing. I have seen the loneliness that sits with you even when people are in the house, the ache of being the strong one, the one who carries, the one who fixes, the one who remembers everything that needs to be done. I have seen the generational patterns that tried to claim your family line, anger that rises fast, distance that grows slow, cycles that repeat like a script you didn't choose. I have seen the financial strain that turns simple decisions into pressure, the bills that sit on the counter like accusations, the caretaking exhaustion that makes you wonder if you will ever be poured into the way you pour out. And you have asked quietly, will my home ever feel safe? Will my mind ever rest? Will my nights ever be peaceful again? Yes, beloved, yes. I am placing a covering where you could not manufacture one. I am speaking peace over your rooms, not as a decoration, but as an authority. I am releasing wisdom over your decisions, what to do first, what to let go of, what to confront, what to rebuild. I am setting protection over your sleep, so the night will not be a playground for anxiety and dread. I am restoring order where chaos has been normal, tenderness where hardness has been learned, unity where division has tried to become tradition. I am breaking the agreement your family has had with survival mode, and I am teaching you a new inheritance, a home that can breathe, a home that can laugh again, a home where my presence is not a Sunday idea, but a daily atmosphere. So receive this as your promise. You are not only passing through a hard season, you are being established in lasting peace with me. And now, if you can, place your hand on your heart or simply lift your faith toward me and agree with what I am saying. Whisper it back, even if your voice trembles. Shepherd, dwell here. Make my home your home. Make my heart your resting place. I am not far from you. I am not waiting for you to become perfect, to come close. I am already here. And I will remain covering, guiding, providing, until the place that used to hold your stress becomes a sanctuary of my peace, and all your days learn the sound of safety. Now, my child, pray with me, and do not rush, because surrender is not a sentence you say once, it is a door you walk through. I am your shepherd, and I ask you to release what you have been gripping so tightly, your timelines, your panic-driven decisions, your need to figure it all out tonight, your fear that if you loosen your hands, everything will fall apart. Give me the weight of it. Give me the pressure. Give me the what if. Give me the when. I know the valley. I know the way through it, and I have not asked you to be your own savior. I have asked you to be my sheep led, covered, carried, provided for. So whisper it back to me even if your thoughts are loud. Shepherd, I yield. I trust your pace. I trust your path. I trust your care. And now I lay my healing hand upon you. I speak to your body, every system, every organ, every cell, every place that has been inflamed by stress and worn down by survival. I calm the racing heart, the tight chest, the shallow breathing. I quiet the anxious mind, the spiraling thoughts, the dread that rises in waves. I lift the heaviness of depression that has tried to drain color from your days. I touch the trauma stored in memory, the triggers that ambush you, the fatigue that sleep has not repaired. I restore your nervous system. I regulate what has been dysregulated. I strengthen what has been weak. I give you rest that actually rests you, peace that actually holds you, sleep that is not interrupted by fear. Let the oil of my presence soothe you mind, body, and soul, until you can feel again what it means to be safe with me. And I speak provision over your life, because under my shepherding, you will not be swallowed by lack. I make a way for rent and mortgage, for groceries and gas, for school fees and necessities, for bills that have been shouting at you like accusations. I give you wisdom for debt, strategy for budgets, discipline without shame, and help without humiliation. I open doors for employment, increase, and stability. I bless your business with the right clients, the right timing, the right ideas. I release favor you did not earn, opportunities you could not force, and support that arrives at the exact hour you need it. I am already working beneath the surface, already arranging, already aligning, already preparing what will feel sudden when it appears. And I place my rod and my staff over you. I cancel intimidation. I break confusion. I silence accusation. I cut off destructive cycles, patterns that repeat, habits that trap, voices that harass. I guard your mind. I guard your home, I guard your steps, and I guide you in the right paths for my name's sake. You will not wander into what harms you, and you will not be pulled off course by fear. I am defending you and directing you, even when you do not understand. So seal this in your heart now. Even in the valley, you will fear no evil, because I am with you. And as you pray Psalm 23 over your life, you are placing your need under my authority, and I do not abandon what I take responsibility for. Stay close, beloved. Keep walking. I will shepherd you through, and I will feed you at the table I prepared. Now, my child, do not let this moment end as a feeling that fades. What I have spoken over you is not poetry for your ears only, it is alignment for your mouth. Because fear has preached to you for a long time, and it has used your own voice to do it. It has trained you to say, I can't, I won't, I never have enough, I'm always behind, something is always wrong. And you called it realism, but it was agreement with the valley. And I am teaching you a new language, not denial, but declaration. Not pretending, but prophesying. Speak what I said, not what fear said, because faith is strengthened when truth is declared. So, say this with me, slowly, and let your spirit catch up to my promise. My shepherd leads me, even when I cannot see the next step. Say it again. My shepherd leads me. Now say this. I shall not want. Lack will not swallow me under my shepherd's care. Say it. I shall not want. Now declare it. I am restored. My soul is being repaired. My peace is returning. Say it. I am restored. Now speak this. I am provided for wisdom, resources, help, and open doors are coming to me in right timing. Say it. I am provided for. And speak this with authority. I am protected. I am guided. I will not be pulled off course. Say it. I am protected, and seal it. I am not swallowed by lack. I am sustained by the shepherd. Yes, beloved, let that be the sound that follows you, not panic, not dread, not the old story. And if you will make agreement public, if you will put a stake in the ground where fear used to stand, comment this sentence as your declaration. The valley is not my home, God is walking me through. Do not be ashamed to testify while you are still on the way. Your agreement is not for my awareness, I already know, but it is for your alignment, and it is for the person watching beside you who needs permission to hope again. And I want you to send this to someone whose hope is being tested by lack or sickness, someone who has been trying to smile while their bills shout, while their body aches, while their mind races at night. Let your share become a hand on their shoulder. Let your obedience become a doorway for their peace. Now listen, my child, for the next 7 days, make Psalm 23 your rhythm, not as a ritual of fear, but as a walk with your shepherd. Read it, pray it, speak it morning and night if you can. Let it train your mind, let it calm your body, let it reorder your expectations. And as you do, you will notice this. The valley will still be a passage, but your mouth will no longer live there. Your words will move with me, and goodness and mercy will follow you into every day I give you. Now, my child, do not pick your burden back up after you have laid it down. Do not leave this table and return to carrying your need in silence as if you are alone. You are not alone. I am your shepherd, and I have also placed you among people who are learning to walk with me, who know what valleys feel like, who know what it means to need healing, provision, direction, and peace. So, I want you to do this with simple faith. Leave your healing request and your provision request in the comments. Name the valley, name the pressure, name the need, and let my people agree with you. Bring it into the light. Let agreement surround you. Let prayer become the arms that hold you up when your strength feels thin. And stay close, beloved. Subscribe and let this become your steady stream of psalm-based prayers, shepherd words, and daily encouragement for healing and provision, because I will keep meeting you here, not as a moment, but as a journey, until your life catches up to my promise. And if you receive this word today, if lack will not swallow me, is the sentence I placed in your spirit, like this video, as a sign of receiving, as a point of agreement, as a yes in your hands. And share this with a friend who is in crisis, someone who needs shepherd peace and practical provision, someone who needs to remember that the valley is not their address. Send it, and let your obedience become their lifeline. You don't have to carry your need alone, bring it to me, and let the community agree with you, and watch how goodness and mercy follow you from this table into every day ahead.